want to get into the cider business, everything we're using today is about $40,000. And it takes 3 licenses to make cider. You have to have a restaurant license, which we do because of the restaurant. We actually had a restaurant license when we didn't own a restaurant. And then you have to have a food manufacturing license. And then you have to have an apple cider license. You pay a fee to the Department of Agriculture of Pennsylvania for all 3. You can hear it dripping. I'm going to start the press. Squeeze it. You don't want to squeeze apples fast because you have to extract the juice nice and slow. So even though you watch my finger, it is pressing. When it's done, or that one there, had 2,000 pounds of pressure on it. And that's preset in the hydraulic pump here. We have an overload kick. No. As we go this way. Oh, no. Now, behind you is a crate. This is a bushel crate. Weighs about 42 pounds. How many gallons of cider does a bushel of apples make? 2. Quarter. 3. 1. No. It depends on the press. This one is 3.78. If you go to a festival, I think Chris Gillickson's having a festival today, and they get about 1.5 to 2. So, 1's right, 2's right, 3.78 right. This is a lot higher technical press because, see, we're putting 2,000 pounds of pressure versus the old presses are about 400 pounds. You ever had the old presses, they built them this way and they came down. That's all they could get on them was 400 pounds. This came out about 20 years ago. We actually had a grad student, his father, he was from Venezuela, and they grow a lot of apples down there, which surprised me. And so his father wanted him to learn the cider business like America. So his father bought this press. He got his master's degree at Penn State. Home, probably running the business. I always thought I'd go visit him, but he doesn't communicate, so guess I don't get to go. Now, we're starting to see the squeezing back and forth. I can get one of these out. Remember how wet it was? See, look how dry it is now. We squeezed all the cider out. Now, you can eat this if you want. Then I guess you don't want it. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just that all the flavor is in the cider up there. What we do is we catch the cider down below in this little pan. Not exciting, but we ship it upstairs to a bulk tank. Just watch that pipe a second. Watch that pipe. Upstairs is an ice bank bulk tank. That means that half the water is ice and half ice, and it's 32 degrees. Remember your science classes in school, you check the thermometer, you put ice and water together. Same thing. We don't want to agitate the cider because that makes it bitter. Remember, I like sweet. So it just goes upstairs, the ice bank tank, chills it. When we started building this system, the old tank was a tank inside an apple cooler. Problem was, we had to make cider all the time at 32, 33 degrees. So when we built this building, we wanted it to be warmer. See, today it's 60 in here, but the cider's 32. Now, this one's done squeezing out. You can hear the overload. So I went to the dealer that handles milk tanks, and everybody has direct expansion milk tanks now. They don't have ice banks. So I said to him, if you can find me a 500-gallon or bigger ice bank tank, I will give you a nice bonus. 3 months later, he come walking in smiling. This one came out of Western Maryland. It'd been sitting there for 15 years. It's like an old antique car. You found it in the shed. I went down to see the farmer, and he thought I was nuts. The compressor doesn't work. There was dead everything on it. It was just sitting in this old shed that had fallen down on it. So we tore it all apart, brought it home, and put it back to use. Stainless steel doesn't rust, so you really have to do something to stainless steel. Everything inside the milk tank has been replaced, the pumps, the refrigeration, and the compressor. Now, we're going to flip it towards you. So you guys want to back up a little bit?
Watch what he's going to do.
And I think our pump's done. This one here doesn't like to come out today. You people are all here. We usually make cider about 5 o'clock in the morning because it's so noisy. And then when you're done, you're just sort of like a mess. You're sort of gooey. So you go home, take a shower, get new clean clothes on, and go pick apples. Cider is a sticky process. The old days, you'd have yellow jackets flying around, mosquitoes. But with all the new regulations, we have to be in an enclosed building. It has to be fly-free, which I am very happy. I don't want flies and bees. I'm not afraid of bees, but it's very annoying when they're crawling in your ears and on your forehead, and you do get stung a lot. If you go to any of our farmers markets, we hardly ever spill cider onto our jugs, but those yellow jackets are right on top of the cap. Oh, one didn't come out? There it came out? Yeah, this side here sticks a little today. Still one. Fourth one.
Yeah, got it.
Came out. All right, anybody have any questions?